Yeah, let's go. Shout out the mountain and fish. I got Iggy and Woods doing right for the culture. If you just here for the views and the likes and just put out no mic, you a vulture. They let me down, but the raps did it. They let me down, but the switch did it. They let me down, but the raps did it. They let me down, but the switch did it.
This is your boy Iggy.
It's your boy Wood.
You are now tuned into another episode of Hip Hop Hoops Podcast. Man, we want to thank everybody for supporting us, man, through this year. It was a wonderful year. We did a lot of great things.
Yes.
Covered a lot of great basketball, a lot of great hip hop. So we appreciate everybody for tuning in, supporting us. Continue to keep supporting us.
Please.
How you support me and my brother right here, man. Click that like, that share. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Simple.
You know, hit that notification so you're not late. You know, you get that notification straight to your phone when we drop our episodes or anything that we do. It's going to be a good summer. NBA playoffs, we missed it. Last week, obviously, it was Father's Day. Shout out to all the fathers.
Shout out all the dads out there, man.
We're doing their thing last Sunday. But I want to get into it, and we're going to talk about the game. Pacers versus OKC, the finals. What is your thoughts, man? Like, what is your thoughts? The score was 108-91.
Yeah.
Was it? I don't know. It wasn't even worth watching for me.
It was wonderful to watch, man.
Right.
You know, it was Indiana's last game at home for the season.
Yes.
So you know they were gonna leave it all on the floor.
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to blow them up by 30.
Oh
you know what I mean?
God.
At one point the game was at 30, but
It was.
it
it stayed at 30. Like, it stayed at 28-30.
you had to take your hat off to the adjustments that Coach Carlisle made in regards to not picking up Shea full court the majority of the game. Picking up half court, sending the double his way. Making it kind of hard for him. You know what I mean?
Very hard for him.
It's like they're gonna pick and choose they're picking and choosing the poison with either
a lot of doubles, yeah.
Right, with either J-Dub or I guess they're giving J-Dub the green light to go do what he had to do, see if he can drop another 40, which didn't happen.
It's not happening.
The bench of Indiana once again came clutch at home. I think that's been the theme thus far. Teams that playing at home, the role players.
Toppin had 20. TJ McConnell had 12.
Right, allowed 12 though.
Yeah. It's Shepard had 7. T. Bryant had 4. Bradley had 3. Mathurin had 2. But
all in all, everybody contributed. James Johnson even got a little, you know what I mean?
How does McConnell have 6 rebounds, though? Or no, sorry, 9 rebounds.
A lot of them were the 50-50.
How does he have 9 rebounds and 6 assists? This man almost had a triple-double.
Come on now, man.
He's the one who's making shit just go.
Right.
Like, when he comes on the floor, it's just so annoying how when he turns it up, it's just ridiculous, man. They haven't been able to figure this man out, and it's costing them.
Right.
Like, he is killing them, and it's not even funny.
I feel like his game is more of an 80s, 90s game. Like, he's not wasting no dribbles, getting to his spots. I think the Wallaces and the Wiggins and anybody coming from OKC's bench that was guarding him, they're waiting for like maybe a step back, some bag work, some 2016 to 2025 bag work type shit. And they're not getting that when you're guarding TG. TG's just gonna get to his spot, get his guys involved, and beat you with that hustle play, man. So, yeah, it's great to see. You know, I hope all the smaller guards are watching and taking note.
Yeah.
When coach says he needs you to be a pest, I think every coach is gonna be showing their smaller guards TJ McConnell's play.
He's friggin'. I think so. Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna go with both sides here. Obviously, I watched the game. It wasn't a game. It was absolutely horrible. I don't even understand like what happened, because OKC came out like they were about to it's over tonight.
Yeah.
I think they started off like 10-12 to 2 and then Indiana went on like a 12-0 run or something like that, and just tied the game, and then eventually passed them, and then never looked back.
Shout out Andrew Nemhard. He sparked that 8 straight.
Andrew Nemhard is like, so this is my question. I want to ask you, and I want to ask everybody who's watching here. If the Pacers win, who deserves Finals MVP on that team?
Pascal. That's a given.
Okay.
Pascal Siakam, hands down.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
He's been the
And
one player who's been so consistent.
And we
through the
said
whole time.
he was gonna be the deciding factor in this series.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And shout out Coach O and yourself. You guys said it. Out of all the Raptors that were in the postseason this year, you know, you guys took your hat off to Pascal, and he's showing improving once again.
Yeah, man.
You know, and I don't even think he is the number 2 option. So I think everybody should get that out of his mind, out of your mind.
Well,
like
that's just
you know what I mean.
That's just your boy talking. Just
that's just jargon.
Gilbert, he
ain't no damn number 2. And I'm kind of kicking myself that why didn't we make it work with Pascal and Scotty here with the Raptors?
Mind you, remember that was the one guy I did not want to leave.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to leave. I didn't want him to go.
Right.
Like that was the guy. Like I was okay with the OG, obviously.
Yeah.
But if we have been able to keep him, I was happy. What did we get? Like what was the return?
RJ.
No.
Quickly.
RJ and Quickly came from the OG with the Knicks. See what I'm saying? We don't even like.
We don't even know. Bruce Bowen? I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, sorry. The guy who always wear the country blues, Brown. What's his name? Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown.
And what would he do for us all year?
Nothing.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't like that trade at all. That was just stupid to me.
Right.
And I've been saying that he was one of my favorite players from when we won the championship in 2019.
He gave Draymond the business.
He won his matchup with Draymond, and he did his thing. So I was annoyed from that time. Like, come on, we should have never let him go. Right. So, I would agree with you. I believe that Pascal, Finals MVP, for sure. On the other end, I see people talking about J-Dub. No, it's going to be
Shea, man.
It's going to be Shea. Like, I'm not sure what they're talking about, but it'll be Shea. But interesting things with this game here. The Pacers won the rebounding, 41-46. They had more assists once again, 23-14. And the big thing is the turnovers. They turned over. OKC turned the ball over 21 times in this game. And once you start getting into the 20s, it's going to be hard.
It's going to be hard to win.
It's going to be hard for you to win. So the turnover difference was OKC had 21, Pacers had 11. So, yeah, man. And then you got to see the 3-point. OKC hasn't shot the 3 ball that well in this series. And what was the 3-point? 3 points was, they're shooting 26%, man. 26%. 26% from 3. They were 8 for 30 last game. That's crazy. 8 for 30. Pacers were 15-42.
But once again, I feel like the role players, you know, the Wiggins, who else is a contributor on that team, man?
Oh, for OKC?
For OKC, yeah.
You got Jalen Williams, the big. Yeah. You got Jones.
Yeah.
You got those guys were just like those guys. You got Caruso who scored 0.
Right.
In 22 minutes. Mm-hmm. So how you score 0 for 22 minutes? You had Isaiah Joe. He had 11 in 15 minutes. You had Wiggins who had 5. Carson Wallace had 2.
Yeah.
In 14 minutes, and you had Mitchell who had 2. So
and those guys will usually contribute more when they're playing at home.
Yeah.
But the only difference is this is going to be a game 7, and you're not playing against a Denver squad that you know everything's going through Joker. Right? You kind of know Aaron Gordon's banged up. You know what I mean? You can really target Murray. You know what I mean? You'll give Westbrook the corner tray ball and see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as predictable. You're playing against a well-oiled machine that's deep. They're going at least 8 guys that are all contributing. Apparently, they got like 8 guys in this postseason that scored over 200 points.
At least.
You know what I mean? 8 guys. I think at least 8 guys.
That's insane.
And then I seen another stat where OKC's 0-3 when Shea go to the line less than 10 times. So, now strategies and adjustments, they're out the window. I think both coaches exercised both of them, exhausted them both excellent. We got a game 7. Now it's just hoop.
And and you know what's crazy? Sorry to cut you off. With Shea, right? When they're doubling him. Like, they're getting the ball out of his hands.
Right.
So he's not even getting clean drives
Right.
that he normally would get. Like,
But he was getting those clean drives because you're picking them up full.
Yeah.
So it's straight
and
downhill now.
Yeah, he's downhill. So
Right.
he's not even getting those drives, and they're switching with, this guy's seen every single player that the Pacers have. Like, he's seen every single matchup. Like, he has to be exhausted, like, after this series is done.
Right.
Like, he only had 21. He was 7 for 15. He didn't play bad, 31 minutes, but he doesn't get opportunity because they were just getting the ball out of his hands.
Right.
When have we ever seen Shea just shoot the ball 15 times?
Facts.
That's not normal.
It's not normal.
It's 20 plus.
Right.
Right? So, that didn't happen. And then you have a starter in Chet who in 24 minutes only scored 4 points and 6 rebounds. That's unacceptable. I'll never like this guy. I think he's the most overrated guy, one of the most overrated guys in the league. This dude.
You think?
I think Chet is dog shit. I'm sorry.
Stop it,
Like,
man.
I think he's so bad. I think he is bad. Like, I've been saying there's no consistency. He doesn't rim protect the way he should as a 7-footer. He doesn't rebound the way he should as a 7-footer. He's not aggressive enough as a 7-footer. Like, I can't depend on him, and this is why Hartenstein was brought over.
Right.
Because last year in the playoffs, they showed out
Right.
because he couldn't do anything. So I'm not a fan of him.
I think in his defense, he needs more touches. He's part of the new school of hoopers. These guys need touches. Their offense kind of dictates their defense. Doesn't touch the ball much.
Maybe they got to give it to him early.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
They did that the one game where
and he went off.
They went off. They maybe
Right?
got to give him the ball early.
They got to give him. He has to be a vocal point of their offense. But then when you got Coach Carlisle dropping these little gems in his post games, you got to take in his post games or his after practice interviews. I remember one time he said Shea is like unbelievably. We can't stop him, right? I think he wanted him to take 14 field goals like how he did in game 1. You know what I mean? I think that was his strategy to say, keep shooting the ball. You know what I mean? Right. Boom. He's glazing Scott Foster, the ref. You know what I mean? Even though I felt like Scott Foster cost Pacers that game.
Right.
Missed that. It was a push-off, Shea. I love you to death, but it was a push-off. You know what I mean? And it was a travel, I think, personally. But anyway, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But he praised Foster. And guess who's reffing Game 7?
Foster.
You know what I mean?
They can't let Foster ref. Like, he's such a bad ref, man.
Yo.
Like,
all
he
I'm
has
saying-
too much beef. For you to be reffing, why does he have so much beef with all the players? I don't understand.
Carlisle is out here playing chess.
Listen, he's a hell of a coach. He's he's out coaching. He's out coaching the other coach. Like, let's keep it 100. I've been saying that. He's out coaching guys.
He is,
like,
man. He is.
He's a phenomenal coach, man. He did it in 2011 when he beat the Heat, and he had all those schemes and strategies, and he's doing it again. So being the underdog.
This Game 7, we got to look out for who's just gonna step up, man. Like Turner's due for a good game.
Yeah,
Chet is due for a good game.
He's been rebounding horrible.
You know what I mean?
This is my prediction for tonight.
Yeah.
If Shea is aggressive, but not ultra aggressive, like there was one game, I think it was game 2, where he came out crazy, had 14 field goals, for not that aggressive. Maybe like 7, 8 shots in the first quarter. But when he drives, he's looking to kick. Because his passing game and being able to create is so underrated because he doesn't do it a lot.
Right. And his defense as well.
Yes. Yeah. So if he's able to come out and literally look for, Chet, look for Lou Dort with some open threes. Look for Carson Wallace or Hartenstein for little floaters and dunks and open shots. He has to. Shea could almost score anytime he wants, and that's going to open it up for him.
Right.
If he allows that.
Right.
If he comes out gunning and he on some Kobe shit and he's just like, I'm letting the clip out and I don't care.
Yeah. It's going to be tough.
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 On Indiana's side, man, as long as the role players can play the way they play at home, if they can bring it for Game 7, last game.
That's the thing
for
Indiana.
You got Benedict Mathurin. He'll give his confidence is out the roof regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had 32 or 27 that one game he exploded, and then he kind of faded away. But if you hear him in post games, his confidence it feels like every game he dropping 25.
Yeah, he's one of the most confident guys
you feel
out
me?
there. But like you said, other than the first game, game 1,
Yeah.
Indiana hasn't really played that well
in OKC.
And
even game 1, like
in game 1,
they were horrible.
they just stole it. Like,
Right?
you shouldn't lose a game when you're up by freaking 8 points with 4 minutes to go. Like, that shouldn't happen.
That shouldn't happen.
That should never happen.
If Indiana wins, that game 1 is gonna haunt.
Absolutely.
It's gonna haunt OKC, man.
Yes.
And then it's gonna people are gonna be talking. You know what I mean? Last year, who did Shea lose to? Was Minnesota? Was it a game 7 or game 6?
It was game 6.
Right. This year, Shea lost in the. Did they played in the play-in? The play-in tournament.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They fell short.
Yep.
If they fall short again, if they don't win it tonight,
it's almost gonna be like a Boston Celtics thing. Like, they just keep getting closer and closer.
right?
And then they're losing deep. They're having deep runs in the playoffs and they're losing. And then they finally had their breakthrough.
But this is their journey, though. This is part of the journey.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, they're still a young team.
It is.
Every year, they're getting better as a collective. So I'm not gonna get caught up as a media personnel saying, "Oh, Shea choked," and whatever the case may be. If Shea wins a chip, he probably had the most perfect season.
Absolutely.
Right? But if he loses, yeah, get ready. Get ready
And
for
guys,
that
he
closing
doesn't-
piece.
He doesn't get credit for making it there.
Right.
Let's put it out there. He gets 0 credit for just making it there.
Right.
The loser of tonight's game it'll haunt them all summer until they start again.
Right.
They get nothing. So let's leave
So
it at that.
who you got?
I'm gonna go OKC just cause you helped me. I was leaning towards the Pacers.
Yeah.
But you helped me today with something where Pacers don't play well. They haven't played that well
They played like
in
dog
OKC.
shit in OKC.
So I'm gonna go with the home team tonight.
I'm going to go with Indiana off of the strength of, yes, they've been playing like dog shit every time they played in OKC. I just feel like now all the pressure is on OKC to close this.
Oh, yeah?
It's a game 7 against a team that's almost a mirror image of you. You know what I mean? They have nothing to lose. And they got Pascal.
The pressure
Undertaker.
is definitely, I think, still on OKC.
They be calling Pascal Undertaker right now,
that
man.
shit-
The
I don't
memes
know
are
what
crazy.
What he did when he did that shit with his eyes, I don't know what that shit was, bro.
Some of my
I
Westie
was
guys are
like-
like, yo, the man just did a ritual on
Yeah,
live
it-
TV.
honestly, it looked like it, man. It looked like it. Anyways, moving to so LeBron James. We're here again talking about LeBron James,
There we
guys. I know
go,
you guys
man.
don't like it. It is what it is. You know,
Yeah.
whatever. But he was talking about on his podcast. You know, mind the game or whatever it's called. That trash.
It ain't trash, man.
it's garbage.
Shout out Steve Nash, man.
Steve
Come
Nash
on.
is a whole, man.
Stop it,
You
man.
gotta speak up. Like, speak up. Kobe Bryant right now is disgusted with this kind of conversation, bro. So he was talking about ring culture, and he thinks he's so slick. Mm-hmm. The way he manipulates people with
pushing
these
that
words,
goalpost.
and his fans are just so stupid, and they just eat everything up. Pause, bro. He's talking about ring culture, and he's saying Charles Barkley. All of a sudden, he's a Charles Barkley fan now. Like, he's you hated Charles Barkley for years, right? So now, Charles Barkley can't sit at the table, and Iverson, are you telling me that he can't sit at the table? Steve Nash, you can't sit at the table? No, they can't. It's a different type. It's a different table.
They're in the building.
They're in the building, but
They're
it's
at
a
the
different
party.
table. And why are we acting like this is like something like no one ever said that Charles Barkley's not great.
Right.
Nobody ever said that.
Right.
No, but is he the greatest power forward ever? Absolutely not.
No,
he's
sorry.
not. Again, we're acting like the winning doesn't matter. Like, winning matters. When we're talking about greats, there's a bunch of great players. Almost like the top 75 players, they're all great players. Right. You know, but when we talk about the greatest, we're nitpicking. Right. We're seeing, little failures here, accomplishments there. And championships is one of those things that goes into it.
Right.
When you're deciding who is the greatest. We all know that Barkley's great. Right. I think Barkley's better than Kevin Garnett, in my opinion. And
for his size?
And Garnett has a ring and Barkley doesn't, in my opinion. That's just me, right?
Yeah. You would lose that argument, but yeah.
A lot of people think Charles Barkley's better than these guys. So that's just me. But again, I think am I gonna say Rasheed Wallace is better than Charles Barkley because Rasheed Wallace has 1 ring and Barkley? No, no one does that. So I'm not sure where he's going with. We're not saying that Iverson is not great. Who says who on earth said that Iverson wasn't great? That's not the conversation. But you're trying to play, and your fans are gonna go with it, of course, because they're just idiots. But let's be honest. Now we don't care about rings. If you didn't care about rings, why did you go to Miami and say not 1, not 2, not 3? What was you should have stayed your ass in Cleveland then the whole time. If it wasn't about rings, if you didn't care about rings, or rings wasn't a deciding factor for other people to feel like, okay, you're great, you're greatest, you're the greatest. Like, there's levels. Right. And I hate when people do this. It's so disrespectful. Like, come on, man. Like, what is your thoughts with this whole ring culture thing, man? I think it's just LeBron James doing this because he's 4-6. And if he was 6-4, or if he was 9-0, he would be talking about ring all the way through. He's only speaking like this because he's 4-6. But go ahead. What is your thoughts?
The greatest of all time. Those 4 letters, their GOAT, I should say, is gonna follow LeBron for his entire career, and it's almost like a kite. He's like pulling it as well. You know what I mean?
So insecure. He's so insecure.
He's not letting it just come to him.
He's so insecure about it. It's ridiculous.
I feel him in Control Alt Delete in regards to how he's trying to really break down what a GOAT is, because at the end of the day, the conversation is you versus MJ. You know what I mean? No disrespect to the Bill Russells, the Wilt Chamberlains, the Jerry Wests of the world. No disrespect to any of them, the elders, the Dr. J's. But at the end of the day, your stats across the board are better than MJ's. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, everybody that watched MJ play and watched LeBron play will say that MJ was a better player, a better winner, and is a GOAT at the end of the day. Just off of the eye test.
It's Brennan Haywood said something, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's like, who's the better offensive player? And I don't mean because he has more points, that means he's the better offensive player. Right. At 15 years, when Jordan retired, MJ had more points than LeBron James when he was at 15 years. Right. Right? So, obviously, this is a longevity, so we can't put the numbers there.
But that's what people like to use.
Of course, the man played 22 years. Of course, he's going to have more points, more everything than him. He's played 22 years. Right. But when you put career side by side at 15 years, MJ's stats are better, especially points. Right. So what are we talking about? MJ's the better a better offensive player by far, and he's a better defender. So those are the two facets of the game, offense and defense, and he's better at both. So what are we talking about? So if we want to just look at just pure game, forget about the stats, forget about anything, just pure game. MJ's a better basketball player. He has a better post.
Well, weren't we just talking about LeBron's a great player, but just very athletic, but don't have no bag?
Yeah, exactly. And then if you want to put Kobe in this equation,
and that's the shitty part, that they're not even mentioning Kobe.
No, and Kobe's game, as if we just want to look at just flat out game, he can create better. He has more freaking counters. He has a better bag. He has a better ball. And what they're gonna say is, well, LeBron James shot a better percentage. Bro,
why are we doing that for real?
Is Luke Kennard the best shooter in the league today? Well, guess what? He has the highest percentage 3-point in the league today. Right. Is he the best shooter in the league? Absolutely not. I can name 5 that's better than him. Right. So what are we talking about? So miss me with the percentages and, bro, the way you get your baskets is a lot different.
Facts. He's
downhill, running through people, getting layups, and how is MJ and Kobe getting their shots? Mid-range pull-ups, jump shots, all that stuff.
Real shit.
So
real shit.
So
miss me with all that. I what kind of bugged me was it looked like they had some type of seminar in New York.
Right. Yeah.
With Wemby, LeBron, Tom Brady, Kai Cenat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody was there. Looked great. You know what I mean? And shout them all out. But a couple weeks ago, I seen Tom Brady say Jordan's the GOAT.
Yeah.
And now that you're face to face with LeBron James, you're gonna say, "Oh, LeBron's the GOAT."
Oh, did he? That's what happened?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh, that's
In my
corny.
eye, that's what I'm seeing, and I'm
I
like,
don't like that.
come
That's
on,
corny.
dog.
Come on.
What are you doing, bro?
Don't do that because you're in front of the guy.
I
That's
think
whack.
that was horrible, man.
Yeah,
that was horrible. But LeBron, you did say after you won your 3-1, came back from 3-1 to Golden State, that you are the GOAT. That made you the greatest of all time. So
Exactly. You didn't say that this made the greatest team.
Right.
You said that championship made me the greatest of all time.
Right.
So why say that? Why? So it's like, okay, championships. He's trying to create a narrative that fits him, and because this narrative, I know he feels like I'm never gonna win another ring. Like, I know this. My time is up, and this is why he's speaking like this, because he knows that he'll never win another ring. And
it's okay.
It's okay.
At the end of the day, you're still gonna go down to the top 5.
Yes.
Maybe even the top 10 of those that are really, really gonna be nitpicky and really hate on LeBron. They'll give you a top 10, but in my eyes, you're a top 5. And probably everybody's eyes, you're a top 5, maybe even a top 2 to most.
He's top 5 for me.
I would not.
Okay.
I still wouldn't put you past Kobe.
No.
But that's just me. But definitely top 5 for sure.
What's the measuring stick when you talk about the greatest? Is it just numbers? Is it stats?
Skill set, numbers.
Because Wilt has some of the greatest
right?
individual numbers we've ever seen.
Yo, are you box office fams? Like, people are coming to see you play.
What is the measuring stick to talk about the greatest of all time? Like, I hate the way he's trying to eliminate competition. Right. Like, stop trying to do that. Stop trying to convince people out there, and he's using this platform so bad, and Steve Nash doesn't have the nuts to say anything. He's just sitting there. If Kobe Bryant was sitting there and he was talking face to face with Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, Kobe Bryant would destroy him. Like, you're talking about championships don't matter on the team that you're playing for?
Right.
The Lakers that's all that matters is championships? If I was the Lakers, I'd have been like, bro, get his ass out of here. He's done.
Right. Well, they just sold the team for $10 billion, so you're gonna see some changes.
Get his ass up. Laker Nation, LeBron James don't care about championships. That's the one thing that you guys care about is championships. They don't care about conference banners and all that. They care about hanging up championships. That's what Kobe Bryant said, right?
Right.
So, he's trying to eliminate competition, which is just so weak to me. Like, don't do that. We go on the floor to play, we compete, and there's a winner and there's a loser.
That's just how the game is, man.
And don't talk about, oh, well, the loser over there, what's up, man? You're just, no, don't work like that. Don't. What was the championship game where, I can't remember, I don't know if it was in football or basketball, where it was when LSU won, they tried to also invite Iowa to the White House.
Right.
They were like, no.
Why
if you're doing that, then we ain't coming.
Bottom line.
This never happened before.
Nope.
When does the loser get in love now? We ain't never did that before.
Right?
No, get out of here. Anyways, man, talk to us in the comments. Let us know what you guys think about LeBron James ring culture, man. Would he be saying this if he was 6-4? Would he be saying this? Talk to us in the comments. Question: who is your favorite player to never win a ring? Who's your favorite player to never win a ring? Talk to us in the comments. Let us know your favorite NBA player to never win a ring.
I would have to go with. There's a lot, man. Just one. I'm gonna go with Steve Nash.
Steve Nash?
Two-time
MVP.
Two-time MVP. He was right there.
Yeah.
He almost took out the Spurs.
Yeah.
That year where Robert Ory pushed him to the thing.
That hip check.
That hip check.
Yeah.
And then Amari Stoudemire came out,
off,
and then the league gave San Antonio that stimulus package because they ended up winning that chip.
Close.
And I thought Phoenix, if that never would have happened, Phoenix would have beat Detroit.
I believe so.
I personally think so.
That's a good one.
I'm going with Steve, Captain Canada, man.
Mine is Tracy McGrady. I've always been a huge fan of Tracy McGrady.
But you've been talking reckless though.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get into that. We went to the same prep school, Mount Zion Christian Academy in Durham, North Carolina. He is a Zion boy. I played on the floor that he donated to Mount Zion, which was amazing.
Yeah.
He built I think it's called Christian Life Center. Is the gym. That's the name of the gym at Mount Zion that he donated. But I always loved T-Mac's game, and I wore his jerseys. I think that Orlando Magic the reflector jersey was one of the best jerseys ever. The white and the blue and had the stars on it.
Yeah,
just like you go in the glow in dark. It's like those jerseys were crazy.
Right.
But I have a bone to pick with him because he came. It was the same. So whatever that thing was.
Yeah.
And he came on and he said that if he wasn't put in a great position to win a championship.
He left a great position, number one.
That's what I don't understand. Like, to say that you weren't put in a position to win a championship and you left. At that time, Vince Carter was like a top 10 player in the NBA. And
you had a great supporting cast. You had Doug Christie, man. You had D. Brown at one point.
Bro,
yeah, Charles
Oakley. You could have filled the gaps.
You know what I mean?
T-Mac was coming into his own. He was still young.
You feel me?
He was still young. He gave us 3 seasons?
Yeah.
Like, you were coming into your own. You weren't even fully developed.
There was the time you had Antonio Davis, fam, Kevin Willis. You had flipping Del Curry, fam. You had guys, Muggsy Bogues. You had the great supporting cast, and I'll never forget.
Carter,
and obviously VC.
Like, you had Vince Carter.
And you guys didn't even touch your primes yet.
They didn't touch the prime. What would it look like if T-Mac was there when he was facing the Knicks? And when he was facing Philly in the playoffs?
When we played against the Knicks, the first time we made it to the playoffs ever, and Vince was kind of shit in the bed. Who was holding it down? T-Mac. T-Mac was holding it down offensively and defensively.
They still lost.
But they still lost, but I was like, we're going to be a problem. Yeah. And I'll never forget Slam Edition, because you remember before social media, everybody was on Slam, right? Kobe, look it up, people. Kobe Bryant, he was on the cover of it. Lord of the Rings, after he won his 3rd chip, he said it himself. If T-Mac and Vince didn't split up, we would have seen them boys at least twice in the finals. Hands down. No disrespect to New Jersey, no disrespect to Philly. But I'm just saying, if T-Mac never left the Raptors, we would have seen at least 2 chips. Easy.
He left after 3 years.
You know what I mean?
Like, no one does that.
I get it, to go home. But then you wanted a injured Grant Hill, possibly get Tim Duncan, even though that wasn't going to happen.
It didn't make any sense. So, he's on here and he's saying that was one thing that annoyed me for sure about not being in position to win a championship. But the other thing that annoyed me even more was him saying if I played with Shaq, he would have won a championship.
Right.
Bro, you couldn't even get out the first round.
Facts.
Like,
on any team
you couldn't get out the first round. Okay, so this is T-Mac's. He went to the playoffs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he went to the playoffs 9 times. 9 times. You haven't got out the first round. With the Raptors, who was that against? That was against it doesn't show. But with the Raptors in '99, you were 0-3. You lost. That was your record in the playoffs that year. First round, gone. In 2000, with Orlando, you're 1-3. The next, you done got Doc Rivers fired. 2001, 2002, you're 1-3. 2003, 02-03, you're 3-4. You lost first round. 2004, you lost. You were 3-4.
Let's not forget Houston. His roster though, fams.
I'm gonna break it down. Hold up, I'm not done yet.
I'm
not done. He's in the playoffs. He's 19 for 31 in the playoffs. You've never had a first round, like, you've never won. He led the 53 Rockets team with Prime Yao, and couldn't get out the first round.
Imagine having Shane Battier and Ron Artest on the perimeter.
Right. Yeah, you never won a playoff series. You never won MVP. Come on, bro.
Shout out Scola. Shout out Rayford Austin. Like, come on, man. He had a legitimate squad.
Yao Ming, you played with Yao Ming. You had a record of 146 wins and 74 losses with Yao Ming, right? Yao Ming gave you 22 points, basically 23. He gave you six assists, and he gave you 6 rebounds. Rebounds is trash. That's prime Yao Ming. That's what he gave you as a second option. Not done yet. Hold up. Your roster was Yao Ming. You had Ron Artest. You had Shane Battier. You had Scola.
Yep.
You had Rayford Alston. You couldn't get out the first round.
And that time when Rayford got to Houston, he was more moving like a pure point guard, bro.
Yes. I think the one time that they did get out the first round, Tracy McGrady was hurt, and
Right.
Ron Artest led them to the second round.
Right.
The only time in Houston that you ever got out the first round was when you were hurt, and Ron Artest led him to the second round. Like, bro, what are we talking about? And I'm not done yet, because Paul Gasol. So he says that he would win a championship if he was with Shaq, right? Would you win a championship as Paul Gasol as your second option? Would you win? And I'm gonna give you that roster. You had Paul Gasol, you had Shannon Brown, you had Jordan Farmer, Lamar Odom, you had Trevor Ariza, you had what's the big kid's name? I forget his name. The 7-footer.
Bynum.
Yeah. Bro, I don't even know some of these dudes. Who are Luke Walton? You had Derek Fisher. What would you do with that roster? Take him out.
But you had Phil Jackson in the triangle.
That's
offense.
okay. I don't care what that is. I don't care. What would you do with that roster? Because this guy went back to back with this roster. Forget about Shaq. He went back to back with this roster. I don't care. You could put LeBron James in this roster. They're not going back to back. You can put Tracy McGrady. You're not getting out the first round, my man. His second option was Paul Gasol. You don't know what Paul Gasol's numbers were as a number 2 option? 17, 9, 3 assists. That was his numbers as a number 2 option. McGrady, don't do that. Let that man rest well. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Y'all stop trying to disrespect his legacy and come on here talking nonsense. Bro, you did have the option to, you were put in a position to win. You were off the rip. You were in a good organization. Isaiah Thomas drafted you to the Raptors.
I think that coach, though, what was his name? Darryl Walker?
Yeah.
I think he made his TMAC experience at the beginning horrible.
Right.
But once your cousin got there and Vince, and you guys found out you guys are related.
Was it like the next, or 2 years after? Or
something like that.
Like,
come on, man. You should have stayed, bro. Moving like Kawhi out here.
And then you never got out of the first round with Houston, and you had a good team. I'm not saying that team would have won a championship, but that team was good enough to at least get out the first round. What are we talking about here?
And that dark cloud all used to follow T-Mac. Can he get out the first round?
Yeah, he hasn't got out the first round. So what are you talking about championship? Nigga, talk about getting out the first round first before you talking about a championship. If I was with Shaq. Everybody says that. What if I was with Shaq? I would have won a championship. Really? Right. Really? Right. So what would you have done with the Kobe Bryant without Shaq? What would you have done with Paul Gasol as your number 2? Would you go back-to-back? Almost won a 3-peat with that team. Lost to the Celtics. Yeah. Close run with the Celtics. Mm-hmm. He ran into a friggin' the Celtics super team. Right. What are we talking about? He would have won. He would have won a 3-peat and came back and beat them boys the next year. Came back and beat those boys the next year. It's disrespectful, man. Leave Kobe Bryant out of this. Leave him alone. Stop disrespecting his legacy with all the. And again, they're gonna say, "Oh, well, we're pro and they're NBA guys." Man, that's just corny to me. That's corny to me. I'm sorry. I had to get that off my chest. I'm sorry, man. But anyways, okay. So moving to the WNBA. Yeah. So there was a video surfacing, and it was a video of Kelsey Plum, and Kelsey Plum sees these guys, they're fans, and they're trying to get autographs. I believe they have some cards, but she said something was very interesting where she goes, "This is low-key kind of weird." Yeah. And I don't know why she talks like that as a grown-ass woman, low-key. Like, you're not 12. Like, talk like a grown-ass woman. And then you're saying, "You're turning me off." She said that to the fan, and the fan was like, "Yo, I'm just here. Like, we're outside the hotel. We're
a fan,
we're just trying to get an autograph.
I got an album with your picture in it, bro.
Fans of you.
Can you sign this, man?"
What is your thoughts on this?
I mean, it hurt because, like, all right, I understand you're getting ready to go practice, but as a professional athlete that wants the big dollars, you know what I mean? Or even the professional athletes that do get the big dollars, please understand that you're getting these dollars because of the fans. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Fans are going to come try and see you whenever, which way. They're going to look up your practice schedule. They're going to talk to whoever they got to talk to see if they can find their favorite player. And there's going to be times that you're going to run into a real committed fan. So instead of downgrading it or putting that person down calling them weird, the shitty part was it's almost that guy, female. Yeah. So it's like a guy's he's not trying to holler at you. You know what I mean? Your game, you got one of the illest games in the W. Real off as a guard, you know what I mean? You got Sabrina from New York. Obviously, you got Caitlyn, Paige is doing her damn thing. You feel me? And you, Plum, like everybody, like yo, off the bounce, you are tough to watch. Like, come on, man, you shouldn't have did that. That really bugged me, man. Like, come on, man. Maybe maybe it was that time of the month. I don't know what it was. You know what I mean? I don't know what it was, but hitting that gentleman with that line, calling him weird or low key weird.
Come on, man. Like that like you said, the woman-man dynamics was like for you to say that was just
like he's stalking you,
outright dangerous. Like,
and maybe to her defense, maybe she's ran into him countless
it don't
times.
matter.
And they're just catching it on camera now.
That happens all the time. We just seen Shea sign like 100+ autographs.
No, you're right.
With no issues.
You're right.
During a playoff, during I'm sure he want to get back to his room. I'm sure he wants to lock in and focus on the game.
He didn't even know he signed that much. That was crazy when somebody asked.
Yeah, like he's had 100-something autographs. What are we talking about? We see LeBron James do this all the time, where he's giving out autographs, where he's giving out sleeves and all that stuff to the fans, because they realize that the fans is what makes if the fans don't show up, then what happens? Real shit. And if we're trying to make the women's game grow, what are we doing? That's not what we do if we're trying to make the game grow. We have people out here grinding like Kisa K, where she's out here with the Hoop Queen.
Shout out Hoop Queen. Shout out Kisa.
Trying to push the women's game.
Right.
And here you are bringing them 10 steps down. Like, what are we doing? To me, that turned me off so much. And this is the second thing that happened for me with the WNBA when I seen Diana Taurasi walk past that fan, that little black girl. She walked, just act like she didn't see her. Right. And the girl's out here reaching up for the autograph. And you just walk right past her. Right. Acting like you didn't see her. Do we want the women's game to grow or not? Right. Do we want it to grow or not? If we don't want it to grow, shut up. Don't stop speaking. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing and let it be. Y'all want the game to grow so bad. Y'all want equal pay, all that kind of stuff, and then you do shit like this. Where you have NBA guys who've been doing this for years. LeBron James has been doing this for 22 years, and we've never seen an incident like this before, where he turned down a fan or disrespected a fan or said anything. I'll give it to him. That's one thing I'll say. LeBron James, yo, he will sign autographs. He will take pictures. He ain't doing nothing like this. Mm-hmm. So for me to see this, I'm just confused. Do we want the women's game to grow or not? Because this is what's going to help the game grow with the fans. Like, what are we doing here?
It's real. It's real. And on a more lighter and positive tip, in regards to the WNBA, I think their first season began in June in 1997.
Yep.
So this month marks the 29th anniversary of the WNBA. You know what I mean? So, 29 years in the game.
29 years, man.
You guys are finally making some noise in regards to viewership and all that.
Let's try to push it.
And shout out Paige, man.
Yes, let's shout out Paige.
Come on, man. She dropped that 41, man.
She's doing her thing.
She had a loud 30 last week, I believe. And just last night, man, she dropped 41, man. I was like, yo.
She's doing her thing. I love
41.6 and 41.6 rebounds, 6 steals. She's coming into her own slowly but surely.
Yeah.
And remember we were talking about a couple seasons ago. We were talking about, obviously you're a Juju fan, when they were all in the league, but I think when they were all in college, Paige was hurt that year. And Paige just came back from injury.
Was it Juju, Paige, and Caitlyn?
Yes. And when all three of them are in that W.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh my goodness.
We got so much time with Juju, man. She still got 2 more years in college, man. Damn.
Bad, but it's good to see Paige's putting Dallas on the map, man.
She's putting in the work, man. I love to see it. So, moving on, we're gonna go to talk about some hip hop. So we missed this. So Kendrick Lamar came to town a few weeks ago, and he took over. He came. He sold out back-to-back nights. We had so what is your thoughts on this whole thing? Him coming to town. We had so I want to put this in perspective real quick, and we got to understand is like we're so close to New York, the border. We're so close to Detroit border. Right. I'm not saying that stadium was filled with Americans only. Absolutely not. Right. But there was a lot of Americans in there who came from Detroit, so I want to put that in perspective right away. And
Detroit, New York, Buffalo.
Yeah, and the regular fan, like Jack Tar Meat, he don't care about no goddamn Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. He doesn't care, like they don't care. Jackie and Jill.
Jagmar Singh, you mean?
Yeah, I just said a name. I ain't meant him.
Oh,
you
okay.
know, Jackie and Jill who come from Barry, they don't care about. They're not invested in a Kendrick Lamar Drake beef. Right. So we got like 6 million, 7 million people in the city of Toronto, and you got 40, 50,000 people coming there screaming. So it's like come on now, if you were there, you would understand. We got some people that went there and they seen the demographic of the people that was in there. It was different. But what was your thoughts when, there were people were screaming encore one more time?
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on that whole thing?
I was.
Did that make the city look bad?
It made the city look horrible. It made the country look stupid. We really look like we have no culture. Period. My thing was, one, the line with DeRozan in Not Like Us.
Yes, you didn't deserve him either.
Right? We didn't deserve him either.
Who's he talking about?
He ain't talking about OVO.
That wouldn't make sense. That wouldn't make any sense.
He's talking about us, right?
Yeah.
Canada, in regards to we just don't have a culture.
When he's talking about the Crody, he's making fun of the way we speak.
Right. You guys see that. You guys don't care. It really just
they're just dancing around and he's dissing them.
Right. It shined. He was probably laughing at us, bro. I don't even know if there was a time where people can go get autographs from the man. I think the man did his performance, cut back to New York. Came back from New York, did a second performance. I don't know if he even gave any autographs. But at the end of the day, all you guys came in here screaming Not Like Us, unless you guys really just hate Drake. One of the guys that helped put the city on the map in the hip hop culture and on the hip hop scene.
Drake is the reason why Kendrick can come here and perform. Right. Because now that they see that, Canada is a melting pot. Canada has people that actually like hip hop. Before then, I'm sorry, guys like Cardinal, Fisher, and those guys, they were pushing it, but it still wasn't at the level what Drake was doing. Right. So when they say, what did Drake do for this city, it makes no sense. Because I've heard people say that, but go on.
But none of these guys, to me, none of the real hip-hop heads, or not even just hip-hop heads, dudes with clout, real residents from the 6, from all the different hoods, or you want to call it priority neighborhoods, whatever you want to call it, they weren't there. I'm going to say that. Mm-hmm. They weren't there. Right. When I'm looking at the people walking in through different videos, shout out my man Kent, who was in there. He even said it himself. You can see there was a lot of uppity folks there, people that could afford these type of tickets were there. It is what it is, but it made us look bad because the American media went just listening to all the different bloggers. Kendrick came to the 6. They said when he wasn't gonna do Not Like Us, he did it. He had the crowd sing one more time, or I was like, bruh, this is not I was ashamed, man. I knew enough people weren't there, right. But just the optics of it, right. Sold out. You know what I mean? People are actually cheering this on. People are going to the restaurant. I'm not even going to mention the restaurant's name. You know what I mean? Even though I did see some hip-hop hoop stickers in that. Yes. You know what I mean? They got some hip-hop hoop stickers on there.
I ain't going back there, though.
I ain't going there, though.
I will never go to New Hope again. But there was a lot of Americans. Those are a lot of Americans.
Those are Americans, though.
When I see them looking at the menu, I just know they're Americans. Because you know what you're going to get. Because
you know exactly what you're going to get.
So when I seen a bunch of people with menus in their hand, I'm like, those people not from here.
That's almost like a new, what do you call those tourist destinations now?
Yeah, but New Hope King could have kicked their ass out and told them shut up and stop singing. Right. They were riding with it. So
we're riding with it, man.
I ain't never going to New Hope King again.
Bottom line.
But I agree with you. It was pretty disappointing. But it's not something that we haven't seen before. In hip hop, we've seen guys diss and go to people's communities or whatever you want to call it. We've seen Common Sense go to LA and diss Cube.
We've seen Drake go to Philly.
We've seen Drake go to Philadelphia and shut it down and have people screaming, back to back or whatever. Right. We've had guys like The Game come to Jersey at Summer Jam and diss 50. Right? We had guys so this is not something that is new in hip hop. It's happened before. It just I don't think it's has happened at a level where 50,000 people were screaming this, right? I want to say something where this was it was very disappointing of the way the crowd was and the way we so we've always been like America's always been that superior country to us, right? They've always looked at us like we were soft, like, you know, we were very passive, and, you know, they were aggressive compared to us, right? And this has been happening forever. Like, when I was going to school in America, I remember, like, some of my friends would tell me, like a girl's dream has always been wanting to date an American guy. That's always been the thing, right? I want an American. I don't want a Toronto guy. I want an American guy. Why? Because the American guy was just about to eat her ass out, all kind of crazy
All
shit,
types of shit.
fly her out, spend her money, something that the Canadian dude wasn't going to do. And what would those girls do from Toronto? They would speak on us and be like, yo, they're whack. Toronto guys are whack. They're soft. So it was implemented in those American guys' brain from the get-go. Like, yo, you're soft. You're weak. This is not something I'm asking. I've been around a lot of American guys, and they would say, man, yo, this is how the females would speak about us. And they would say the Canadian girls are easy. Fly them out. They're going to do whatever. This was the conversation, right? So Canadian guys would try to emulate that by, you know, coming with a American accent.
Remember Caribbean on the weekend?
All of a sudden, Caribbean,
man,
everybody,
Young Street,
everybody's
American.
Right? So it's so funny when you know, a guy like Drake would like, yo, you know, you thirst trapping or whatever off an American guy, and some of those lyrics, because we've been doing it. They've been doing this for years. The Canadian guys been dick riding Americans for a long time. They've been doing it. It happened with our sports team. If we have a sports team here, Toronto Raptors, you have other guys cheering for, you know, LeBron James and wherever team he goes to, and we've always been dick riding.
You always have that. You always have that
Americans.
person from the six or those persons that are just anti-Toronto.
It's the weirdest thing. It's
weird.
It's the weirdest thing. You hate home. You have guys in hockey. I've seen they're not cheering for the Leafs. They're cheering for Florida. And they're cheering for the American. I don't get it. It's happened in all sports. It's happening now as far as our culture. So was I surprised to see us Canadians going in and supporting an American? Absolutely not. Because this is what we always do. We've always done that from the beginning of time. So I'm not shocked or surprised to see. I'm a little shocked of them saying one more time. But did I think that Canadians were going to be in there dancing around? Not like us, like goofies, like not understanding that this is all of us in one. Absolutely not.
Seeing those dudes doing the Crip Walk, though.
I don't think those guys were Canadian, though.
Couldn't be, bro.
I think those guys were American. Like I said, there's a bunch of Americans in there. So I don't think those guys.
Even like Jagmeet Singh's section, it looked like it was very expensive.
Yes.
It had to be very expensive. And I seen a lot of my brown brothers and sisters in there. So I'm like,
What's your thoughts with him and him going there, you know?
Well, you know, I like
such a higher up in Canada or Toronto.
Well, he stepped down as the NDP, as the leader of the NDP, way before this concert.
So he owes Drake nothing?
He owes Drake nothing. He did get a follow from Drake back in the day.
Drake called him a goof.
And he thanked him for that. But I'm glad that he's up with the times. He probably heard about the backlash, and he apologized, or he probably said something along the lines of that he was there for SZA, even though there's footage of him dancing to Not Like Us and other Kendrick tracks. But it just kind of shows the influence Drake has on the six, on this country, regardless of what anybody wants to say. Like, you know what I mean? So, you know, flip, man. You're welcome, Kendrick. And let's stop acting like this was just your concert, fam.
It wasn't. It was a SZA.
You know what I mean?
lot of people were actually there for SZA. But one thing I want to say is so they love to. This is what I mean about the picking and choosing, right? So they want to pick and choose that. Okay, well, Drake, man, you're so emotional, man, and why do you care that he went to the concert and you're so bothered? Okay, so what if he's bothered? What's the problem? Is he not allowed to be bothered? Should he not feel any type of way?
Of course.
I'm so confused when people say that. Like, oh, this is so corny. But when Kendrick put in his verse talking about Snoop was high when he reposted Taylor Made, it was okay. It was cool. Right. So was Kendrick not in his feelings when that happened?
Yeah, of course he was in his feelings.
Was he not bothered? He hasn't spoke to Snoop ever since. Snoop just said that. Have you smoked with Kendrick? Nope, I haven't spoke to him ever since. Right. Dog, you're still holding feelings towards that. Right. So, what is Kendrick not emotional? Right. And should he be? Yeah, why not? Right. Is it okay? Why not? He's human. Should he not feel a way that he feels like one of his West Coast leaders, or one of probably the most influential rapper, especially on the West Coast ever, reposted someone that you're going to war with song? And had no problem with him using your voice? Should he not feel away? Of course. Right. But why we picking and choosing like, Drake, you shouldn't do this. But Kendrick, you can't. It's been like this through the whole battle. And that's what annoys me with this whole battle shit from the beginning. Drake, when he does something, he wears pink, the big pigtails and the beads. Oh, you're a kid. You're a little, you're a grown ass man. White Snoop out here doing it since he's been a kid till 60 years old. Right. Oh, it's cool. It's a part of his culture. Man, shut up, man. It's so bad, man. It's so annoying. So, I don't know, man. And my last question about this whole thing is, I want to ask you and I'll ask the people in the audience, do you think Drake could go to LA, sell out a stadium tour, diss Kendrick Lamar, and the fans would react the same way?
Hell no. Hell no. Sell out the arena? Yes. Have people singing Family Matters or a couple tracks or a couple verses from Family Matters? Yes. But there'll be some type of violent outbreak.
Would they be booing? Would they be?
You'll probably hear a couple sections. You know what I mean? Through their IG live or videotaped or just recorded. You know what I mean?
But would they boo as a whole?
Nah. But you'll probably hear a couple of boos.
Okay, so my next question,
I think,
is two-part. If Drake was dissing the city of LA now, what if he said, y'all didn't deserve him either? And he was making fun of the way they, cuz, and the city of LA.
No.
Would they allow that to happen in LA?
Hell no.
That's a hell no for me too.
That's a flipping hell no.
I think Drake can go to LA and he can diss Kendrick Lamar and be fine.
You think?
But I don't think he can diss the city of LA.
No.
And they're like, yeah. I don't think they're doing that.
And LA, they're so unified when it comes to West Coast rap, bro. Like, you out here dissing the West Coast and you're not from around here? Oh, come on, man.
I don't think you can do that anywhere. I don't think you can do that in Detroit. You can't go to do that in New York.
Now we got the label as, you can come do that here though.
Bro, we always been dick riding Americans.
Fuck, bro, that shit pisses me off.
It's always been like that. This was our one chance to stand 10 toes down, and we failed.
Miserably.
You could have enjoyed the songs, but when that song came on, you could have been like boo, and they could have been like, yo, they're not jacking this shit. Right. Let's change the track or something. Right. But you were just like, yeah, not like us. I am they. I am they, and you're dancing around like a jackass. So it is what it is, man. Disappointed in the city for that. New Ho King, you'll never see me again. Yeah.
Hold the sticker, though.
Yeah, you can hold a sticker. Anyways, let's talk about, last thing we'll talk about is Pusha T. So, sorry, let's talk about Pusha T. He's dissing Travis Scott now. This guy has an amazing role. We haven't spoke about Pusha T like this in forever. Again, when I said a few weeks ago that he had no value, people were bothered by that statement. I'm not saying that when I say they had no value, I didn't mean that they suck or they're shit. I'm telling you that since UMG is going through the lawsuit with Drake, it's not worth it for them financially to take a chance on that, to give Drake and his team more ammunition to say, look, they're doing it again. Defamation. Because clearly the song, they didn't feel comfortable with the song enough to let it out. Right? So that's what I meant. I didn't mean that they were trash and they suck. People were getting it mixed up and they were confused on the conversation. When I explained it to them, they understood. No one centered Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar did how many cities saying A minor and you couldn't censor him. Did they have a chance, opportunity? Absolutely not. So this is what I meant. But what is your thoughts with Pusha T? You know, he's dissing Travis Scott. What's your thoughts on this, man? Because this rollout is incredible.
Rollout's amazing. Track goes hard.
I actually do like the song.
I like it. I can't say I don't like it,
Yeah.
man. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I think this is his MO. Like he's always been on this. Pusha T has always been trying to expose the fake. You know what I mean?
He said, I don't like rappers who don't rap, so stay out of rappers' business.
Right? And, you know, he explained himself in regards to Travis Scott kind of interrupting a studio session. Yeah. And then the next day coming out with the track with Drake. Dissing Pharrell. So he had that in the chamber, yo. He was like, all right, I'm going to get you, but I'm going to wait. You know how Pusha T gets, man. He'll keep everything he'll hold it. Keep those bullets in the chamber. When his album's about to drop, roll out, bang, bang.
Because apparently he has a video of him crying about losing Kylie Jenner or whatever, and you're like,
he keeps in the receipts.
Yeah,
right?
like this guy, and I believe him. Bro. So you know,
he
Travis.
keeps in the receipts.
So my question to you and everybody: should Travis Scott respond to Pusha T?
It had me thinking: is he really a hip hop artist, man?
He's more of a rave type of, like
right?
he just wild out. I don't know.
He's more of an artist, I guess. But is he a hip hop artist? And how could he respond?
If he wants, he can have about 50, 60,000 people screaming in the stand saying F Pusha T.
Yeah, like
as far as lyrical.
No. He's an energy god type kid.
Yeah, I say you sit this one out, young man.
Yeah, you just take this L, bro.
Yeah.
Just take this L,
I don't
man.
see him responding. I see people online saying, oh, Pusha T should respond. It's for fun. It's for the sport.
Nah, leave it alone, man. I mean, I see you on wrestling gigs, man. You're in the WWE universe, Travis. Like, man, you're good, man. Yeah, leave it alone, man. You don't want no smoke with that individual right there, man.
Yeah, and we don't want to see that video.
Yeah.
Well, I want to see it. Bro.
I want to see the video still.
Because
I want to see the video.
You playing both sides.
You playing both sides.
Yeah,
you did that funny shit with Drake.
Yeah, you did the funny shit with Drake, talking about play that song, play like that, and then
I'll never forget when Tory Lanez had to rough you up a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Tory Lanez, he's still on business with you. Tory Lanez wasn't playing with you.
You know what?
Yeah.
Look, that just shows me you have a tendency of doing a lot of snake shit.
Yes.
Man's call you out on it.
It's believable. It's believable.
It's definitely believable, man.
Yes. Last thing, Smiley.
Yes.
So I want to shout out to the gang, man. Smiley. I want to shout out to Glizzy. I want to shout out to Nike Boys, Troy. Those are my guys, man. Smiley, you got to come on the show, man. We gotta talk about this, man. The album, Don't Box Me In. It has how many tracks? There's 16 tracks. It has like what? 6 videos at the end. It had the lead single, Tu Maza. This thing is Tu Maza.
It's just Tu Maza,
This thing is
man.
Maza. So, what is your thoughts on the Tu Maza song featuring Drake? Man, Smiley got 2 features by Drake, man.
Come on, man.
That is crazy. I don't know if any other artist in Toronto got more.
And every track. Every track Smiley's put out, he's been getting better.
Yes.
I think he even mentions in a couple of his rhymes that he's getting better as a rapper.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So
I'm so happy for him and his team, man. They've been doing a phenomenal job. He's like you said, he's been getting better. The music's just getting better and better every time I hear it. I rock with this album. Don't Box Me In. What is your thoughts on the Drake collab?
I thought the Drake collab is like any other Drake collab, man. It's just Tu Maza, man, and it was felt more Canadian.
Yes.
It was a little bit more cultured. You know what I mean? I heard Muskoka. I'm hearing some Toronto or Canadian sites or spots to go check out that was in the rhymes and shit. So it was like.
And sorry to cut you off. And this would be my thing too. If we don't support Drake as the country here and we eliminate Drake, how does someone in America or Europe or anywhere in the world understand our culture and our lingo? How does it get out? Who's up next? Who's gonna take that? Who's gonna take the baton and take us to different heights like Drake did? Is anybody? Because a lot of our artists, man, let's keep it 100. They beefing, they killing, they doing all that stuff, man.
Yeah, like.
So it's like who who is going to take us to that superstar level and take us to another height if we kill him off and we don't support him. Anyways, go off, man.
So, Two Maza's dope.
Yes.
I also like Six Side Kids. I also like I like Trap Man with YG. You know what I mean? Trap Man with YG.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, shout out YG.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
YG.
Even his rapping has gotten better over the
Absolutely.
years. He bodied this track with Smiley.
Big Dog with Baka stuff.
And then Big Dog with Baka. Those tracks to me kind of stood out so far off of 2 listens.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I like
album,
Spill the Tea. Spill the Tea, I've heard it before. Mm-hmm. He dropped that in Badge. But I like Spill the Tea because he shouts out my guy, Nike Boys, Troy. Shout out to Troy. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't know, man. I'm rocking with Tumaza. I like Budge. I like Trap Man, of course. I like Big Dog. I like Wave the Flag. Yo, he got some bangers on here, man. He got some bangers on here. I can't front, man.
You can bump it on your way to your Scarborough Shooting Star game today, fam.
That's for sure. That is a fact. I've been banging it all, since it dropped, man. Yeah. That's my riding music. So, shout out to my guy, man, Smiley. Shout out to the team. Buy or buy. Shout out to Glizzy. Shout out to Troy once again, man. God bless you guys. Keep shining. Keep doing your thing. We're here to support, man, for sure.
Right.
Go get that album, man. Don't box me in, man. It's out right now. Anything else?
2 things, man. First, I want to shout out our Team Canada team doing their thing in the tournament right now. Yeah. Our U16 boys came back with a silver, which is dope.
Yes.
Our U16 girls, I believe they're playing for gold. Mm-hmm. So they're leaving with a gold or silver as well. We got our U19s getting ready to start, and obviously we got our national men's team and women's team about to do their thing a little later on.
Yes, sir.
My whole thing is, are we selecting, even though second place is very good, I'm not knocking it. What I'm asking is, are we really selecting the best players from each age group to go represent Canada? You know what I mean? Are we selecting the best players? Are we selecting the best coaches? All that. Are we bringing the best quality to go represent Canada? I don't know. I see a lot of dogs that didn't get selected on all different sides.
We'll talk about that next time.
We can talk about that next time. It's just a little food for thought right now. Yeah. Just seeing how America gets down, fams. These guys are out to kill. You know what I mean? And now they got social media, so if they beat a team by 100, they're posting that ASAP.
What do Americans feel about Canadians?
Right? So
they feel like they're more superior than us.
At the end of the day, and I always feel like the gap is slowly closing, but at the same time, that gap is still huge.
It's huge, bro.
And how can we close that gap? That's all I want to know.
Get better trainers.
You know what I mean?
Let's get better trainers in the building that can add some levels to these young gentlemen's game.
Right.
Stop telling them everything that they want to hear, and let's really coach them. Let's really train them.
Let's get them ready for that next level.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, I like to shout you out. I like to shout myself out. I feel like we stay true to the game of basketball. We want to see youngins succeed in this sport. Mm-hmm. We want to see youngins get to a youth sport or get to be able to play professionally overseas or get to a prep school in high school in the States, a JUCO in the States, Division I in the States. We want to see that, and we're going to continue to help kids get to that. You know what I mean? But our other peers in this basketball community, you could salute. You know what I mean? No need to talk shit behind our backs. You know what I mean? No need to, take credit for something we're doing. You understand? Take credit for something we're doing and not show no love. You feel me? Yeah. It's no shade. I ain't throwing no shade, but I'm letting you know that we know what you guys are doing. And it ain't cool because word always gets back to us. But at the end of the day, we're doing it for the kids, man. We want to see the kids make it to the next level.
That's all that matters to me.
That's all that matters.
Shout out to Asagi, man. Shout out to his family. Asagi, he's going to Frank Phillips.
That's huge.
In Texas, junior college this upcoming fall.
That's huge, man.
That's it. That's all I got,
That's huge, man. So let's just continue to build this game in our beautiful country, in our beautiful city, in our beautiful province, as a unit, fams, and keep building. That's it. That's all, man. So continue to support us. Hit like, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms. We're doing this for you guys, man. And if you want to leave a negative comment, we got time. You know what I mean? I'm still recovering. You know what I mean? So we'll be in the comments all day responding. It is what it is. But keep supporting. We're here for you guys, man. And we're out.